We are now on page 45, and the directions say to read passages 1 and 2, then answer questions 5 through 8. In 1796, Lucy Terry Prince, also known as Lucy Terry, argued a case before the Supreme Court. She was taken from Africa when she was a baby and sold into slavery in the United States. In 1756, Lucy Terry married Abiah Prince, a free black man. Lucy Terry Prince became free then too. In 1785, a white neighbor tried to steal land the Princes owned in Vermont. The case made it all the way to the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land. Lucy Terry Prince argued her case against two of the leading lawyers in Vermont. She won. Supreme Court Justice Samuel Chase said Prince made a better argument than he had ever heard from a lawyer in Vermont. This did not mean that other women could argue cases before the Supreme Court. In the 1800s, women often were not allowed to attend law school. Belva Lockwood was determined to change this. She went to law school. In 1873, she graduated. The law school refused to give Lockwood her degree, even though she had earned it. Without a degree, she could not practice law. Lockwood wrote to President Grant about her problem. A week later, she received her degree. In 1876, Lockwood asked to argue cases before the Supreme Court. The court refused because she was a woman. Lockwood went to Congress to solve this problem. Finally, in 1879, Congress passed a law. A woman lawyer could argue cases before the Supreme Court. And this is a photo of Miss Belva Lockwood. Okay, we have another passage. I just couldn't fit it all down here, evidently, or I may have left room to do a graphic if we needed it. But this is another informational text, so I don't think we're going to need it. Let's look at Article 2, Passage 2. 4 women have been approved as Supreme Court justices. As of 2018, 3 of those women were still sitting on the court. President Ronald Reagan made history in 1981. He nominated Sandra Day O'Connor to the court. The Senate had to approve the president's choice. 99 senators voted yes. None voted against her. O'Connor was the first woman on the court. She retired from the Supreme Court in 2006. In 1993, Ruth Bader Ginsburg joined O'Connor on the court. Ginsburg was nominated by President Bill Clinton. The Senate confirmed her by a vote of 97-3. And just as an interesting piece of information, you need to know that the U.S. Congress has 100 senators. Each state gets to send 2 senators. So that 97-3 tells me that every person voted. She was approved, so the 97 would have been in her favor. The 3 were against her. Back up here, we had 99 for Sandra Day O'Connor. None voted against her, so 1 person did not vote. Sonia Sotomayor was the next woman to join the court. President Barack Obama selected her in 2009. She won the nomination with a vote of 68-31. So again, someone did not vote. If you add the 68 and the 31, you get 99. Sotomayor is the first Hispanic on the court. A year later, President Obama asked Elena Kagan to serve on the court. The Senate voted 63 to 37 to approve her. So everyone voted and she was approved. Someone once asked Ginsburg when there would be enough female justices. She replied, "When there are 9. Having an all-female Supreme Court may one day be a reality." So the Supreme Court is made up of 9 justices. And since this article was written, 2 more ladies have been appointed. President Trump appointed Amy Coney Barrett, and just recently President Biden and the Senate appointed Ketanji Brown Jackson. So since this article was written, we now have 2 more ladies on the Supreme Court. Total now of 4. Sandra Day O'Connor retired. Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away. She had cancer. So we had Miss Sotomayor and Miss Kagan, and then we have 2 new ladies on the court. This is a photo of the United States Supreme Court building. I'm belaboring this a little bit because on the social studies test, if you're taking the high set, you could definitely have questions about the Supreme Court. So the more background you have on that, the more you will know. You need to know that there are 100 senators total, that the Supreme Court has 9 justices total. You need to know from this paragraph that sometimes senators do not vote. You need to know that this building in this picture is where the Supreme Court meets. You don't need to know about who appointed whom and all those things. That's just background information. Okay, let's look at some questions. And actually, let me see what this is. This is yet another piece of information that goes with this passage. This is a timeline showing the appointment of female Supreme Court justices. One thing you need to know here is that in order for an appointment to occur, the sitting president nominates the person. And then by majority, which means that 51 of the senators must vote for the nominee. The senators, didn't mean to do that. The senators approve the nominee. So the president gets to name the person, and the senators get to decide whether or not the person actually gets to be on the Supreme Court. So pay attention here to dates. That's the purpose of a timeline. We have 1981, Sandra Day O'Connor is the first female Supreme Court Justice. 1993, Ruth Bader Ginsburg was appointed to the court. 2009, Sonia Sotomayor becomes a justice. And then in 2010, Elena Kagan becomes a justice. And again, since this book was published, we've had 2 more ladies appointed. Miss Sandra Day O'Connor retired, and Miss Ginsburg passed away. She died. So when those 2 ladies left their post at Supreme Court, they were replaced by other justices. And then the 2 other ladies were appointed later on. Okay, now let's look at some questions. What happened in 2009? Now, I have 3 sources of information. I have the passage about the ladies who argued before the Supreme Court, Miss Belva Lockwood. 2009, this Miss Lockwood was back in the 1800s. General Grant was president. So that passage won't help me. I have the passage about the Supreme Court itself where we saw the picture of the Supreme Court. But the timeline is going to tell me what I want to know. So I'm going to look back at those dates on that timeline and find 2009. And that event was that Sonia Sotomayor became a justice. And so I'm going to look at that name in answer C and go with that answer. President Obama nominated Sonia Sotomayor to the court. Okay, number 6. What is the main difference between passage 1 and passage 2? So I am going to look back. Passage 1 was the one about Belva Lockwood. Passage 2 is the one that tells me about the 4 women on the Supreme Court at the time this book was published. So let's see which of our choices fits that. Passage 1 provides historical background. I'll buy that because it was in the 1800s. While passage 2 is about more recent events, as recent as 2010. Passage 1 is about events that happened more recently. I can stop right there. Passage 1 took me all the way back to the Civil War days. Passage 2 gives historical information. No, it doesn't. And it was about 4 women. The first passage was only about 2 women. Excuse me. Passage 2 focuses on women who argued cases. That is not true. That was passage 1. So the only true statement in this series is right here. Read carefully on those kinds of questions. Okay, number 7. What can you infer? And let's just review what infer means. It means to figure out. What can you figure out about how Belva Lockwood, now let's think about who she was. She was the first lady lawyer. How would she have felt about the female justices? So put yourself in Miss Belva Lockwood's shoes. You fought to go to law school. You were the first lady lawyer who was allowed to practice. Lockwood would probably feel that there were too many women on the Supreme Court. Lockwood would probably be proud that women are Supreme Court justices. So let me just go with bare bones here. Too many women on the court. Proud. Lockwood would probably think that Ruth Bader Ginsburg should retire from the court. Lockwood would probably wish that she, as a senator, could have voted against Miss Kagan. Which one of those is different than the other 3? I believe Miss Belva would have been proud that women were Supreme Court justices. Read carefully and look for those bare bones, those 2 or 3 words that are the main idea of each of those answer choices, and that will help you to find your answers. Number 8, A. What inference, again, that means that you figure out, can you make about the author's point of view in passage 2? So let's look back at passage 2. That's this one, where we were given the information about the senators. About the justices. Guys, it's very late and I am very tired. I was just looking at my clock up there in the corner. It is not correct. I need to reset that. Okay, A, the author thinks there are enough women on the Supreme Court. The author thinks Sandra Day O'Connor should not have retired. Again, let's hit those bare bones. Enough women. Miss O'Connor should not have retired. The author thinks the vote to confirm Elena Kagan should not have been so close. The author thinks Ruth Bader Ginsburg's dream could come true. That's the one. And I tell you how I know that. I remember from that last paragraph in passage 2, this sentence. Having an all-female Supreme Court may one day be a reality. It could come true. The other choices, the author did not say anything to indicate those opinions. Which sentence from passage 2 best supports the answer to part A? And I don't even have to read them all. I'm going to, but it's the one we just highlighted. That same sentence is your answer. But let's look at the others because you should always read all the choices. As of 2018, 3 of those women were still sitting on the court. That has nothing to do with Ruth Bader Ginsburg's dream. Sandra O'Connor was the first woman on the Supreme Court. That's true, but again, it's not related to the dream. She won the nomination with a vote of 68 to 31. Again, that's true, but it is not related to the dream. These are direct quotes from the story, and that is called evidence to support a claim. Okay, I hope you did well on this review. We are ready to start into the second unit of our book, so I definitely will be stopping this video, and we will look at that in the next video. I believe we do some more work with word meaning. If you did not do so well on this review, I would encourage you to go back and review the areas that you need help with. Also talk with your teacher to ask for guidance on that. Remember back on the last unit I had given you this sort of as a benchmark. This is my opinion. Your teacher may tell you something different, and that is okay. But if you got 6 out of these 8 questions correct, I would say you mastered this lesson. Some people want 100%, 8 out of 8 correct. But my benchmark is 80%. So if you did get 6 questions correct, you did an extremely phenomenal job. I will see you soon, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.